So here's the thing. Oh, hi, by the way. I'm walking on sunshine. That's just me, just unleashing stress. Okay. Wow. Woo. I'm Kevin. Hi. I'm single. Yeah. You probably could have guessed that with the Shooby Doobies. And if you're anything like me, and if you're single, you often ask yourself why. And I'm afraid. Well, and here's why. Well, let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we? Okay. So in the beginning, we start out the same. In the beginning, we're babies. And when we're babies, we talk in gibberish. And we go up to our mothers and go, Mama, Mama, can I have a tint of milk? It's the simple life, really. And then we hit the crossroads of babydom. And girls become girls and boys become boys. And cooties are the thing that separates us. But it's a wonderful thing to be a young boy. Because our job is to make girls miserable. And we're very, very good at it. Right, ladies? No. And we know exactly where to attack, man. It's the hair. They hate it when you touch their hair. They still fucking do. So we'd be like on the playground and we'd be like, hey, Cindy. And she'd be like, what? And then we'd attack. And we'd go pull, noogie, fart, glue, gum, fuck off. And they'd go crazy and they would chase after us. And we were always able to outrun them. Except that one girl who was very butch. That screamed softball scholarship. She'd catch up to you, and then grab you, and then kick you over the mountains. And so one day I was following my instincts, and I was gonna give this girl the biggest wet willy of her life, but I stopped because I realized she was cute. Ow! Fuck! No! And that's when I hit puberty. And puberty is a terrible thing in a person's life. And boys get the shit end of the stick as far as puberty is concerned. I mean, yeah, girls get this stuff. Right? But during puberty, girls turn into young ladies. Boys turn into gnomes. And it's really hard period, and you look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, listen, peeps. I want you to picture this, all right? When I went through puberty, I went from looking like Porky Pig to a Holocaust survivor in a matter of a week. You know, my torso was small and bony, but my arms were long and lanky, and my head was huge and heavy and dragged on the floor as I walked. It often got in the way of rocks and twigs, and my nose was giant, and my ears were huge, and I had glasses, I had braces, I spit when I talked. I was Prince fucking Charming, basically. And to put the icing on the informal, sticky, pubescent cake, the teachers would set up those dances that just brewed awkward sexual tension. They'll haunt your dreams for the rest of your life, you know? And if you put on your memory caps here, kiddies, and think back, you know, at least where I grew up, the boys would always be standing in the corners holding onto their balls and looking at the lumps. And the girls would always be on the dance floor going, I'm dancing, I'm dancing, I'm dancing. I'm dancing, and then the actual music would start. They would just be, I'm dancing, and then the first slow song would come on, and all of them would stop, and turn, and look at us. And clutching onto my balls for dear life, I would go, I guess I should ask him to dance, but I don't know what to do. Help. And the girls would go, what the fuck are they doing? The song's almost over. Oh, for fuck's sakes. And they would all go to the bathroom. And then later, the second slow song would come on. And all the girls collectively would go, stop acting like pussies and ask us to dance. And with that roaring proposal, I would go off into the crowd and pick not my #1 draft pick. But it'd be okay, though, because I'm probably not her top pick either. Just being real, y'all. Just being real. And so, and when you slow dance at that age, you know, you like stand 10 feet away from each other, and you stretch yourself out to the very brim, and you stare at the floor, because any sort of physical sensation can be a fucking disaster. Here's a story for you. Once upon a time ago, I went to an arts camp in the middle of nowhere in Michigan. And we had to wear these uniforms that made you lose the will to live. You know, these red knee-high socks, these tight khaki shorts, and these blue polos. And the boys looked at the lagoon, ow! And the girls looked at the nice part of camp. And there was a dance every week. So there was this girl who I'd become friends with, and she was beautiful. And she liked me. And I don't know how the fuck that happened. And so it was the dance, it was the last slow song of the night. I was terrified, so I just went up to her and went, you want to dance? And she said, sure. And the next thing I know, my hands are on her hips. And her hands are around my neck. And I begin to shake in fear. And I just stare at her, just dead eyes, just stare at her. And she just looks down. And with sweat flowing out of my pores, I decided to spice it up a bit. So I say, hey, you know, I really like you. And suddenly she rears her head back in disgust and goes, oh my God! I looked down to see what was wrong, and boner! My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes! Now, if you haven't seen a 13-year-old erection in tight khaki shorts, why would you? I mean, it's kind of like seeing a great redwood tree stuffed in a tent. Guys, if I knew what masturbation was, I wouldn't have had that problem. But I didn't. So while everybody else was masturbating their brains out through the gutter of middle school, high school comes tumbling along, and I was judged and labeled for who I was. Kind of like right now, actually. And you start dating in high school, man. But if you're like a straight guy, and you're about to go steady with a girl, and you're at the height of your masturbation addiction, you run into conflict with yourself because you go, well, do I want to be in the hands of someone inexperienced, or do I want to stay with one that knows me so well? To be or not to be, that is the question. But I was single then, and I'm single now. But the difference is I'm 22, and I have mileage, apparently. But you know, I'm a lot more comfortable when to talk to girls and stuff like that. But I have trouble, meeting them socially, and I don't know why. Because I'm decent looking, sort of. And right? Yeah, well, one. Yeah. Thanks, bro. And I'm a simpleton. I'm a goof, and I like stuff, and that's really about it. But I don't have a social life. And here's why I don't have a social life. I don't have a social life because I'm allergic to marijuana. I don't bullshit. And it's a crutch for a person at my age because that shit is everywhere. Everywhere! And it's too fucking strong, man. I have older parents that reminisce about the days where you could smoke a pound of pot and still use a motorized vehicle as a motorized vehicle. And now as you take a hit of weed today, man, you turn to shit. Vapor trails. It's too fucking strong. Oh, kitties. I must tell you this. So, I went on a date once, and it was going very well, I thought. And so I'm thinking on the train, hey, let's make this pop. So we went for a walk in Millennium Park. And it was beautiful. I'm doing the I'm gonna get some kisses walk. It works. And we're walking towards the botanical gardens that they have over there. And a whiff rubs me the wrong way. But I brush it off because I'm gonna get some kisses. And then we enter the botanical gardens. And a smell fills the air. A smell that seeped out of a Rastafarian's asshole. And I lose my fucking mind. Oh, fuck. Oh, my heart rate's speeding up. I'm shrinking. My heart rate's speeding up. I'm feeling very stretchy. My heart rate's speeding up. I'm melting. I'm having a heart attack. Help! Help! So while my brain was shitting the fan, my date flung me onto her shoulders and dragged me out of the park. That went well. So my mom's a really good friend of mine. And she worries about me when I tell her this stuff, you know? And so recently she encouraged me to get a JDate account so I can stick with my own people. Oh, you too? No. But, online dating is a gamble, man. When people fill out those questionnaires, they will brag about the fact that they want to fuck for days, but they leave out the really important details, like, are you a bedwetter? Do you have night terrors? Do you kill people? And so, online dating is like a box of chocolates. You really never know what you're gonna get, man. And and ladies, hey, you can set up a date. Well, not you, but someone single, lady. You can set up a date with a guy who seems very, very attractive. So you go and check him out, and it ends up being a balding Vietnam veteran who smokes a cigarette out of a hole in his fucking neck. And guys, we can set up a date with a girl who seems pretty, but then we find out the biggest part of her anorexic body is her cock. And you never know what you're So you can see why I'm afraid of that stuff, you know. But I am afraid, you know, and I do get awful lonesome sometimes. And yeah. Easy. But what I'm really terrified with is to open my chest up and give my heart to somebody, you know, based on an impulse, because that is love. You know, to love somebody, you know, more than you love your life, you know, and you give your heart to them. It's a scary thing. But I'm afraid to do that shit because I'm afraid to be a fuck up. I'm afraid to fuck it up. And what goes with that is that I'm afraid to be vulnerable enough to show the ugly side of myself and have them be okay with it. You know? I shouldn't, though, because that's what people fall in love with. You know, they fall in love with the ugly side of you because that's what makes you, really. You know? And if we didn't have ugly sides of our personality, we'd all be the same. We'd be Smurfs. And so, you know, recently I kind of thought of hey, you know, love is a lot like music. It's this universal thing that, you know, a lot of people don't understand. And if if you're bad at it, you're really out of tune, man. So, you know, love should be like jazz, you know. You know, it should be improvised, you know. Always new. You know, it baffles me that we can't just go. You know, love should be like that. So, if you understood anything that came out of my face, you know, you should just go out there and take a risk. Because a lot of people don't. And a lot of people are unhappy because they don't. And, you know, it's a fucking scary thing, man. But all of us are doing it. And all of us are happier. Because so. So, you know, go out there and do it, man. So, you know, thank you for listening to what I have got to say. And good night.